Good morning. We are on lesson 12.4, problem 1, page 690. What is the vertical distance between AB, CD, and CD, EF? Vertical. What does that mean, Memo? Vertical.
Straight up. No, this is horizontal, this is vertical.
Good. Up and down, up and down. Horizontal is straight across, vertical's up and down. So they're asking us how far apart are these parking spaces straight up and down?
6 each.
6 each. Does it tell us what that grid represents?
One grid square represents 1 square meter.
1 square meter each grid. So that is 6 meters. 6 meters wide. Carefully extend AB to create line P. Extend CD to create line Q. Extend EF to create line R. They said carefully, so let's get rulers.
I know. I'll take that. Then we can take that one.
Okay, extend the segments, please. Extend the segments, please. Make that one longer. 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 They said line P, line Q, and line R.
They did it.
Excuse me?
They did it.
Wait. EF creates line R. Oh, I got it upside down. Rats. P, Q, R. There we go. Thank you, Jerry. Good job looking at details. Use a graph to identify the slope. Slope. How do we do slope? Rise over run. Okay. Rise over run. How do we do rise over run? How about we look at A and B? What am I going to do to figure out rise over run? From A, I need to go up 3 over 2 to get from A to B. So rise over run is 3 over 2. Okay, each line. So this was the slope for AB. What's it going to be for CD and for EF? Please find the slope for each. We went 1, 2, 3 over 2 for AB. Check the other line segments.
Trigetti?
Yes.
I had Wyatt with me, but I'm sending him back to you.
Great, thank
Thanks,
you.
bye.
Bye. Okay, CD. Tony, what'd you find for CD? Okay, so I'm going to start at C. How far do you have to go up?
3 over 2.
Oh, there we go. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 2. Okay. EF. Oscar, what'd you get for EF? 3 over 2 again. What do you notice? All the same. Okay, so A generalization there. Parallel lines, what does that tell you about their slope? Same slope. Use the point slope form to write the equation of P, Q, and R, then write the equation in slope intercept form. Woo! That seems like a lot of work for that little spot they gave us, because they want us to do it for all 3 lines. But here's a new form. I don't think we've looked at this yet. Point slope form. We've looked at y equals mx plus b. That's called slope intercept form. Point slope form is similar, but things are rearranged a little. Here's how we're going to do it for AB. The first thing that we're going to do is go y minus y1 equals, and now we know what the slope is. We just found m. 3 over 2 times x minus x1. Okay, that's how we're going to start. Then you're going to pick a point. Let's say we're doing this for line AB first. You need to pick a point on that line segment. So if I'm looking at A or B, which point should we use? I'm thinking A is going to be easy. Look at A. Why is A easy? It's 0. So when I plug it in, it's going to be easy math, yes? So again, let's look at this. This is 0, 0 at A. 0, 0. Since we just did this at A, what's C? What's the coordinates of C?
3, 2, 3.
Well, let's see. On the x-axis, where is C at?
Oh, 6, 0.
Is it 6, 0 or 0, 6? It's 0, 6, because what comes first is the x, what comes second is the y, and it's up 6. What's the coordinate at E? 0, 12. So for the point slope form, we need the slope, and we need the coordinates of at least 1 point. Welcome, Wyatt. All right, so here we go. Line AB, and I know I have the point 0, 0 to use. I'm going to put the x and y of that point in for y1 and x1. So right here, this is going to be, excuse me, y minus 0 equals x minus 0. This is the form, the standard form, where the first thing that I plugged in was this 3 over 2. Memo, what does that 3 over 2 represent? The rise over run. So the first thing you put in is the slope. Here's where they have it as an m, that slope. The second thing I did is I took an ordered pair and I found an x1 and a y1 off of the graph, and this one had 0, 0, and we use that because it's easy math. Here's how this simplifies on down. Y equals 3 over 2. What's x minus 0? X. Okay. So they wanted it in point slope form and in slope intercept form. Slope intercept is y equals, it's already in y equals this one because of all those zeros. Line CD. The generic formula of point slope form starts out y minus y1. We know this line also had a slope of 3 over 2. And then x minus x1. I've put in the 3 over 2 because that's its slope. I need an x1 and a y1, and we're going to use that point off of the graph. What was the x and y for the point for the CD segment?
0, 6.
Y minus 6 equals 3 over 2. x minus 0. The points were 0 and 6, but the x was a 0 and the y was a 6. This right here is point slope form. It looks a little bit different. Is that too low? I see people looking. It looks a little different than the other form. They also want it handy in slope-intercept form. So I need to get the y by itself. How do I move that 6? Add the 6 to both sides. Y equals 3 over 2. This x minus 0, I can just write it as an x. And now I'm adding the 6 to both sides. So here's the second way of looking at it. Point slope form, and this is called slope-intercept. You're most familiar with the slope-intercept so far. Okay, I'm going to walk around. I want you to do what I just did for line EF. Use that point slope form and it'll start out just like this to get yourself an equation for that line, please. Okay, so everything that we just did right here, maybe right here, you're doing it for this line. What's that point right there? 0, 12. So make an ordered pair, 0, 12, and then figure out how to plug it into this formula. Yep. Okay. Hopefully in a minute we can look. Okay. Yes, exactly. Good job. Put your brains together, folks. Okay. Did you make an ordered pair right here? 0. Oh, this is it. What do you have for this period? You have math? What? Spanish. Fourth period. Oh, so maybe if we don't have time to figure that out today, we have one of the fourth period. Perfect. Good job. Nice work. Good job. How's your mind? Right now. All right. Yeah. Okay. But okay, so what right here? Plus 12, right? There we go. Okay. Your attention back up this way, please. Perfect.